Hi everyone, I'm Catherine from Yummy Foods, and in this video I'm going to be making for you almond rose flavored cupcakes in the shape of roses. For the cupcake recipe, I'm going to be using the Betty Crocker recipe, which was the one that we've always used, and it's really good. The ingredients which you need for that are 2 cups of white flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, 3 eggs, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of milk, and you can eat. The recipe calls for shortening, but sometimes I use butter. It depends. The shortening gives the cake a nicer texture in my opinion, but the butter has a better flavor. So you could either use 1/2 cup of shortening, Crisco, or if you want, 1/2 cup of butter softened. So that's to your taste. And then also 1 teaspoon of the flavoring of your choice. I'm going to use almond like I said, but you could use vanilla, orange, whatever you like. Lemon. First, mix together all of the cake ingredients: flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, shortening, milk, flavoring, and eggs. I'm using a mixer for this, which makes it really easy to mix it together. If you're going to do it by hand, I would recommend that you make sure that all of the ingredients are at room temperature, especially the butter, the milk and the eggs, because that is going to help you mix it together easier. Start by mixing together slowly until well combined, and then scrape the edges and whip this up on medium-high speed for a couple minutes until you can feel a lot of air in the batter. It turns a little bit lighter and it's very airy and light. Now spoon a little bit of batter into cupcake holders and fill them about half full. Then place these in a 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes or until a stick comes out clean. Remove and let cool. Okay, now to make the icing, the frosting, I'm going to be making a buttercream icing because that's what I prefer. Buttercream icing is pretty rich. It's very sweet and it's also rich because of the butter. Now if you prefer a different icing like a whipped topping, whipped cream, or a meringue, then that's fine. You could do that too. I'm going to be using 3 cups of powdered sugar, 1/3 cup of butter, softened, 1 to 2 teaspoons of rose water. Okay, rose water, if you don't know, it's like a natural flavoring made from real roses, and it smells like roses. It's really nice. And I'm also going to be using about 2 tablespoons of milk, but you need to add that slowly. So also the sugar and the milk, we can adjust it a little bit depending on our taste. Maybe we might add 4 cups of sugar if you decide you want it more sweet, or if you want it, some people like it more buttery, so they put less, so it's up to you. Mix together the butter, the sugar, and the extract until they are combined. When the texture is smooth, then add in the milk 1 tablespoon at a time and mix as you go along until you get the desired consistency. You can take a look at what mine look like. That's what I usually try to go for. If you want to add in food coloring, now's the time. You can add in a couple drops of food coloring. Now to make the icing on the cupcakes, I used a 2D tip to get a rosette shape, a Wilton 2D tip, and an icing piping bag. So I just filled the icing into the bag and placed the tip in there. And to make the rosette shape, I begin in the middle of the cupcake and squeeze out a bit of the icing, and then just move around in an outward motion, circular motion, until you get to the end of the cupcake. And you can put obviously more or less icing. That depends on your taste. You may want to make more icing and increase the recipe for that. And of course, you could always just put it on with a knife if you want to. I'm Catherine. Thanks for watching my video on how to make cupcakes. If you're interested in more videos like this one, you can check out my channel and find me on Facebook. Thanks.